the eastern side of the island, in the Money Pit area, Gary. Oh, a lot of wood. Following the collapse of their first caisson target, TB1, Rick Lagina, and other members of the team are anxiously monitoring the excavation of their next target, called AC1, where a potentially important discovery has been made some 100 feet underground. Rick, look at that! Gary, we hit the jackpot with wood. That looks like old timber. Rick, there you go. Alright, we're hitting something, right? Yeah. Okay, we're at 96 with the dig. So what's this wood telling us? It looks like we busted through a tunnel. A possible tunnel located nearly 100 feet deep? Gary, that's impressive, isn't it? Terry, very impressive. The team was not expecting to encounter man-made workings until they reached the mysterious cave at a depth of 145 feet. Terry, can you give me a hand? Gary, yep. This raises two critical questions. Have they merely discovered a structure that was built by previous searchers, or have they found a tunnel built by someone who buried treasure deep in the Money Pit area? Gary, that looks hand-hewn, doesn't it? Rick, yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, these timbers look really old. Rick, yeah. Gary, and there's no iron fasteners in it, which is interesting. I think that's an older construction. Rick, yeah. Gary, any ideas? What tunnel this would be? Number, not with wood exhibiting those characteristics. Yeah, could be really old. Is it possible that the team has intercepted a tunnel that was constructed by someone in order to hide something of great value long ago? And if so, could it be related in some way to Aladdin's cave? More wood, Rick. Gary, my gut feeling and your gut feeling says this is some kind of old tunnel. Sometimes you've got to go with your gut. And we're both hungry for treasure. Laughs. Hopefully it's around this tunnel. Maybe. Rick, the guys are really excited about finding this wood, indicating a possible previously unknown tunnel. It could be critically important. As Dr. Spooner says, the treasure will not materialize in solid soil. There has to be a structure associated with it. Terry, hey, Scott, how are you doing? Scott, hey guys, we're just finishing up our spoils down there by the wash table, and this beautiful spike came out of those spoils. Gary, ooh, that's nice. Scott, look at the head on that thing. That's really old. That's nice. Gary, if I was guessing, I would say 1600s or even older. Wow. Gary, yeah, definitely. It goes back. Rick, that's beautiful. Gary, that's bloody gorgeous. I would never expect them to find that in the spoils, coming out of that tunnel. Number, the tunnel wood had no fastener. This must have come out of something else. Can you imagine that in the side of a chest? Or a lid of a chest? Terry, sounds good to me. Could Gary Drayton be correct? That this spike might not only date back to the 17th century or earlier, but also be related to a possible container? If so, what else might the team find at the bottom of Aladdin's cave? The following morning, Rick, we are in AC1 and between 90 and 110 feet. Lo and behold, a spike was found. In the war room, Rick and Marty Lagina, along with other members of the team, are meeting once again with Emma Culligan. Emma is about to share her scientific report on the iron spike that was recovered one day ago inside a mysterious tunnel during the excavation of the AC1 shaft. Emma, I'll turn it over to you. Okay, well, first off, the XRMs and CT scans of the nail. We see the wood-like grain structure, so it is wrought iron. We see the striking of the different angles of the head, which does indicate that it is a rose head. Cross-section is square, means it's hand-forged, not machine-cut. And the composition is really minimal. We have a lot of sulfur and phosphorus content, which indicates more of a likely English origin. We see a potassium content throughout, which does indicate that it's a charcoal-fueled furnace and not coal. So, all of these combined give it a most recent date of mid-1700s, and possibly earlier. Great! That's crazy. It's amazing. Yeah, that's great. What other data do we have? We've got some data from an old English metal detectorist, Marty. I don't know how trustworthy that might be, but go ahead. Emma, you said pre-1750s. I'm saying 1750s, but could be earlier, yeah. I've found a lot of these. When you see this thick, chunky spike with that big rose head on that, that's an oldie. You go anywhere in Europe and you see this type of iron spike in cabinets, doors, and chests. That could have easily come out of a treasure chest. This is your typical 1600s spike. I like the 1600s. That is exciting. Wow, Marty. This spike could be an important clue, and it could be either pointing to an early recovery effort or perhaps original deposit. Yeah, I agree. Doug. Yeah, there are several theories that fit that time frame. 1600s into 1750. Yeah, it could well be William Phipps. Right. Rick, when you say 1600s, it fits the timeline for Sir William Phipps. We've found an incredible amount of hard-to-refute evidence suggesting Sir William Phipps had a presence within the round feature on Lot 5. People associated with Lot 5 may have been living on the island, possibly for the original construction of the money pit. Well, now we may have evidence of William Phipps depositing a treasure on Oak Island in the money pit. In 1687, under the direction of the English crown, Captain William Phipps located the famed wreck of the Concepcion, a Spanish treasure galleon which sank off the coast of the modern-day Dominican Republic in 1641, along with 100 tons of Spanish silver, gold, and jewels. After recovering 34 tons of silver, Phipps was knighted and ordered to return for the remaining valuables. However, when he and his assistant, a high-ranking Freemason named Andrew Belcher, completed the second salvage operation, they reported that locals had looted the wreck and that they recovered only 5 additional tons of treasure. This is where my first discovery comes in. I found a 1688 letter that shows that Captain Andrew Belcher was caught with one of Phipps's ships in the Mahone Bay area at the exact time that Phipps was coming back from the second attempt, where he officially did not find as much silver. According to the research of 32nd degree Freemason Scott Clark, Sir William Phipps and Captain Andrew Belcher buried the missing Spanish treasure on Oak Island, based on their knowledge of an existing vault that had been deposited in the money pit centuries earlier by members of the Knights Templar. Could this spike that was recovered in AC-1, along with the tools and bricks unearthed on Lot 5, not only help explain why the team has found evidence that multiple treasures could be buried in the money pit area, but also suggest what might await them in Aladdin's cave? Marty, it certainly fits with the Phipps theory. If it's from the 1600s, then it fits a lot of stuff, but none of that matters to me. What matters to me is that that spike would indicate that somebody was down deep in the money pit well before the discovery of the money pit. That's the most significant conclusion. The treasure could be below us yet, in the cave. Mystery upon intrigue upon mystery. Yeah, that is what makes this, ladies and gentlemen, a really beautiful story, mystery, treasure hunt. Absolutely. Rick, we're at the precipice of opening the door of that cave, and everyone around this table has high hopes of what might lie within. I think together all of us will do the best job possible to see and retrieve whatever might be in Aladdin's cave. Open sesame. Let's get out there and find it. Agreed. Well said.